Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwan, and today we're going to be talking about the drinks and cocktails of Warhammer 40K. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day. Now, this is a video special for Greg from the YouTube channel How to Drink. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, click down in the description below. It's going to take you to the How to Drink YouTube channel page. It's a channel that I've been a huge fan of from the very beginning, and what I wanted to do is put together all the different beverages of the Imperium, the Orcs, the Tau, and just give that over to Greg from How to Drink and, do your magic and create cocktails for the Warhammer 40K fan base and see what you can come up with. Now, what I need from you guys is also to share down in the comment section below what different cocktails you can come up with that are inspired by 40K. I did not touch on the chaos stuff, so if you guys get any ideas, please comment down in the comment section below, and also share this with Greg from How to Drink to see if he does get inspired to create a 40K inspired episode next season. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the drinks and cocktails of Warhammer 40K. In the vast universe of Warhammer 40K, there exist dozens of intelligent races that wage horrible wars for control of the Milky Way galaxy, from the galaxy-spanning interstellar human empire known as the Imperium of Man, to the savage and fragmented greenskin empires of the Orcs, and from the young and technologically advanced Tau Empire to the old, dying, but psychically powerful race known as the Eldar. Each faction undertakes violent crusades to purge each other, all the while fueling the etheric powers of the Chaos Gods that feed off the blood, trickery, disease, and pleasure of a galaxy in constant war. But even though the galaxy is covered in hundreds of war zones, there still exist many planets within these empires that have the luxury of not being wrapped up in the chaotic conflict so common to the galaxy. In the Imperium of Man, for example, there are planets under the stewardship of the Space Marines. These are the augmented superhuman warriors of humanity, created by the Emperor of Mankind to bring death and destruction to all of the enemies of the Imperium. Known as chapter homeworlds, these planets are so well protected and fortified that the entire planetary system they belong to benefit from a more restful life compared to the rest of the Imperium. While most Space Marines prefer to meditate when they are not waging or preparing for war, there are some exceptions. For instance, the Space Wolves chapter are known to have great feasts after a successful battle, where they drink a highly alcoholic beverage known as Fenrisian Ale. Named after their homeworld of Fenris, this ale is a highly alcoholic and toxic beverage that can actually intoxicate a superhuman Astarte. The thing about Space Marines is that they have 3 gene seed organs that make it impossible for these warriors to get drunk on normal human alcohol. These are the Praeomnor, the Oluta kidney, and the Hemistem organ. They are implanted into the Space Marine to allow them to fight even in poison-filled battlefields. But because of the culture of the people of Fenris and the lineage of their Primarch, Leman Russ, both of which enjoy drinking contests, the Space Wolves have been able to get around their superhuman biology by incorporating natural toxins found in plant life native to their homeworld that temporarily neutralizes the kidney and allows the Space Marines to get drunk. Even still, the body of a Space Marine is so powerful that if a Space Wolf stops drinking for a couple of minutes, the organ begins to function again, and the warrior sobers up in a matter of seconds. This concoction is not to be shared with normal humans, unless it is treated with antitoxins, otherwise the Fenrisian Ale will kill any human within a couple gulps. For the mundane Imperial citizen, the non-lethal alcoholic drink found on almost every planet is known as rotgut. In reality, the flavor and potency of rotgut varies from planet to planet. The term is simply used to describe any kind of fermented booze, so a frequent traveler like a rogue trader, a navy commander, or an inquisitor can ask for rotgut and get the planet or space station's basic alcoholic brew. For the nobility of the Imperium, the most common drink of choice is known as amasec, a spirit that is distilled from wine, making it very similar to the ancient Terran spirit known as brandy. Much like any other spirit not native to a specific world, amasec can vary considerably. A planetary governor might have fewer restrictions on the distilling of an amasec compared to another. In some cases, amasec can be widely produced only if the still can also be used in firebombs, making the liquor both a spirit and a weapon. This isn't the only dangerous spirit to look out for. The Gork's White Gin, for example, is distilled from modified engine coolant. This caustic, ice-cloudy spirit is an extremely powerful brew and favored by those with a taste for something with a bigger kick than even triple distilled Amasec can provide. As well as making you feel as if though your head is being caved in, Gork's wine as dilute measure can also mitigate the effects of tainted water in food. The flavor of Gork's White Gin is assumed to be very similar to the ancient Terran 151 rum. And then there are the liquors known as trank. These are the synthetic, alcoholic chem distillates made by the crew scum and the criminals of the underhives. Trank numbs the body and mind. It is described as unpleasant, depressive, and requires an acquired taste. This awful concoction tastes very similar to the ancient Terran liquor known as Malort. In the underhives of Necromunda exists a spirit called Wild Snake. It is a rare and potent liquor brewed out in the bad zones of the planet, where the chemical wastes are toxic to all but mutants. Different mutant clans microbrew their own Wild Snake for themselves, but if the gangs of Necromunda can loot some, it is not uncommon for an outlaw gang to get tanked up in Wild Snake before a fight. They call it Snake Courage. Although there are many unsavory alcoholic drinks in the Imperium, the Imperial nobility does enjoy more palatable drinks, such as Damascene, which is a liqueur with a sweet herbal taste with a hint of almond, much like the ancient Terran liqueur known as Amaretto. When not plotting against each other, the High Lords of Terra like to enjoy a series of Damascene cocktails, most popular of which is the Damascene Sour. Highborns of the Imperium, these are the offspring of planetary governors or navigators, enjoy filling up a glass with half rotgut and half citrus juice, dropping a shot of Damascene, and trying to chug the whole thing at once. Another famous spirit is the Theosophytes filtrate, native to the planet of Archaeos. It was forbidden by ancient law. It is said to give a drinker depth and clarity of thought, and though this is likely no more than mystique that attends any forbidden item, this rare intoxicant is prized as a sign of culture and wealth amongst the elite of the Imperium. The spirit is said to be very similar in taste to the ancient Terran absinthe. One of the most sought-after wines in the Imperium is the wine of Quades. In the Imperium, there exist planets that are peaceful and pristine, usually the great escapes of the Imperial nobility. They are referred to as pleasure worlds or garden worlds. The pleasure world of Quades is considered by most to be nothing more than a myth, or perhaps a place that once did exist, but is now long gone. Regardless, the wines produced by this culture are valued above all others, and almost preternaturally potent. Many Hive City nobles and guilders pay huge sums for them, and in some cases, plot, murder, and steal to attain them, seeing them both as a mark of ultimate opulence and good taste. 3 such wines are listed here. The first, the Sorrowful Vintage, is widely regarded as a pale imitation of the real thing, but still highly desirable. The second, the Golden Tokay. It is perhaps the most accessible, true Quades wine, while the last, the Cantilene Malmsley, is the stuff dreams are made of, hugely valuable, and legends hold, capable of killing an overindulgent drinker with pure pleasure. Many members of the Inquisition suspect that the wine has a more sinister source. Slaneshi corruption might be at fault. While many similarities can be drawn from the wines and spirits of the Imperium of Man to ancient Terran alcohol, the alien races of the galaxy do not share in these likenesses, the Orc race being chief amongst them. The green-skinned xenomenace, known as the Orc, is completely biologically different than humans. These massive creatures are not even true animals, but instead a symbiotic hybrid of fungus and beast. Few things can harm an Orc. Their bodies are so durable they can ingest toxins meant to fuel spaceships without even being slowed down. Their primary food source is a subspecies of their own kind, called a squig. These squigs are bred and used for a variety of different tasks, from attacking and standing guard to simply being something an orc can chew on. The xenobiologists of the Imperium of Man have always known of a variant of squig called a bile squig. This squig vomits out a harmful, flammable fluid that is commonly used as a weapon by the orcs. But surprisingly, there exists a smaller squig that is a cross between the bile squig and the chewing squig. Once chewed, the squig is spit into a container and allowed to ferment. The toxins of the bile squig, along with the saliva of the orcs, turns into a highly alcoholic liquid. The fluid is then bottled or scooped up by the Gretchens and are given over to the orc knobs. This can be drank by the orc mob leaders, or in some situations, it is distributed amongst the mob in order to intoxicate them right before an unquestionably deadly mission. Under the influence of this squig alcohol, the orc boys are incredibly aggressive and ready for a fight, more so than normal, which is why the knob must act fast and give the lads something to stomp, otherwise they will fight amongst each other. This fermenting technique is similar to the ancient Terran people of the Andes in an alcoholic beverage they called chicha. Also very different than the Imperium of Man, the Tau Empire, the newest and most technologically literate alien race in the galaxy, has a different way of producing their own alcoholic beverages. Each planet in the Tau Empire is called a Sep World, and each Sep World has a set purpose that is supposed to contribute to the greater good of the entire empire. In the beginning, when the Tau first sphere of expansion was complete, the Tau castes enjoyed from a type of alcoholic beverage made not from fermenting sugars, as was so common in most planets in the galaxy, but rather made from fermenting a species of rice native to the Sep world of Tau. As the Tau Empire grew, entire Sep worlds were dedicated to producing this rice, and eventually the fermented beverage that was closer to wine than beer, but uniquely different from imperial wine, was made the standard alcoholic beverage of the Tau Empire. The ruling ethereal caste made the consumption of this liquor restricted. Only on special, ceremonial occasions was this liquor allowed to be consumed. It was said that the beverage was to be gently warmed in a small porcelain bottle and sipped from small cups, right before a battle or before a monumental event such as a promotion of rank. While this is a common way to consume this drink for most members of almost every other caste, there are some members of the water caste that enjoy this alcoholic beverage in a variety of different ways. They usually mix it with a water infused with a plant or herb native to their Sep world, and add a splash of citrus and syrup to complete the refreshing drink. And as more and more Xeno races join the Tau Empire, this drink is being mixed with special alcoholic beverages of all other Tau auxiliaries, like the Kroot and the Vespits. And those were 40 facts on the drinks and cocktails of Warhammer 40K. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to share it with your friends and thank our patrons on Patreon. It's because of them that we can do this. Now, what I want from you guys is comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what type of cocktails you would come up with that are 40K themed. How would you use grenadine for blood for the blood god? Instead of having a rusty nail, maybe you could do a bloody nail. Comment down in the comment section below. And also, go over to How to Drink, subscribe, let them know that One Mind Syndicate sent you, and hopefully we can get an 40K How to Drink episode in the near future. Thanks for listening, guys. If you guys like our content, support us on Patreon. Link down in the description. It's just $1 a month. But yeah, with that said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwan with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.